Hey, all right, there we go. Now we're recording. We got this on full screen. I got this right here. I got my notes right here. So, without further delay, let's jump right into it. So, last we had left off, our intrepid group of adventurers found themselves back from Sunken City Bay in New Verdalka. They were ready to confront this demon-like entity of Jalissa that they had corrupted in their mind to be the worst person ever, stabbed them in the back, and upon confrontation, after literally kicking the door down, you are confused because Duncan and Co. are with Jalissa, and she seems genuinely worried about your health and was struck with grief when she was told Sayla was dead. And after much confusion and talking, you reveal to her that Sayla is alive. That was just because you didn't trust her. And she revealed more information to all of you about how she had a meeting of sorts with a man named Duradine Dupree, one of the several heads of the Tarkirian Trading Company, and he twisted her arm and forced her to tell everything she knew about your search for this lost city of Nibiru. She tells you this, and she also tells you that she had to tell him everything that she knew about all of you. So, with that, all of you having heavy hearts and anxiety and anger towards her, you don't really know what to do next until she tells you that you all could help each other by finding some way to dispose of this Duradine Dupree man and also continuing to search for the lost city. That seems to be your only course of action. So, she gave you a horse and cart, she gave you tents and supplies, potions and gold, and she sent you on your way to New Efera, in search of one of Duncan's actual friends, Lynn. Hopefully this one will not be in an abandoned house with giant puddles of gelatinous slime. So, you begin to head towards New Efera. That evening is stressful, to say the least. All of these pent-up emotions, you travel a little bit, maybe an hour or two, and then you decide to camp. Just sleep, and then you will tackle your journey when you wake up. The first watch goes fairly easy. It is just Alec, as she watches by herself, trying to keep an eye out for things, focusing on nature, and finally being back where she feels most comfortable. However, the second watch does not go as easy. Sayla, as you scoff and look down upon Alec as she leaves the watch and you begin yours, you feel this sense of anger and disgust and uncomfortableness with the current situation. You've always felt more at home alone. You've always felt better being by yourself, and you did really well by yourself. But now that you've finally grouped up with other people, of course, things go to shit. This always happens. To everyone you've ever known, as soon as they get into a group, it's over for them. And you sit for 20, 30 minutes trying to think of something to do about it. Do you leave? Do you stay? Do you try and make them better? What do you do? And as you are caught up in this train of thought, you're zoned out. You're not even paying attention to what's happening around you, which is strange for you. But as you're not paying attention, you feel a slight pinch in your neck. And as you reach up and grab what felt like maybe a mosquito or maybe a wasp or a hornet or something, as you pull out what hit you in the neck, there's almost like a needle. And you feel your eyelids begin to grow heavy, your shoulders slump, and you feel your muscles begin to relax as you slump over on the cart. And the last thing you see is this big, brutish man come up, and this deep, rattling voice say, "You coming with me, darling?" As he goes and grabs you, throws you over his shoulder, and you black out. There is a moment where you wake up. You feel your own constitution bring you back, and you reach for any type of weapon you can find, and you try and grab it and move and stab, but before you're even able to kill anyone, you're able to make a slash across the big individual, and there's the spatter of blood on the ground, but soon after, another thunk into your neck, and you are knocked unconscious again. You go in and out of consciousness 2 or 3 times in this moment. The first time you come awake, there's another person in the cage with you. An elven woman wearing clothes similar to that of Alec, looking very similar to her as well. But then you don't hear anything else, you shut your eyes, and as you wake up, again, you're no longer in that cage. You're sitting back in the cart, and you can hear this voice that's like nails on chalkboard. This like crackly voice, and you realize that you're back over by that lizard folk merchant that you were mean mugging just last night. And as you open your eyes all of the way, you can see Alec and Cyrus and Morganix and Al kind of clustered around you by the cart, just sort of looking down at you. And your muscles are still a little atrophied, as there's some tension and some feeling that you're not exactly able to get back, but you feel the muscles and the energy return to your jaw, and you feel as though you'd be able to speak. So all of you see Sayla's eyes open. She begins to move a little bit. What would you like to do?
What happened?
I mean, I'm still trying to figure that one out. I'm not gonna lie.
I think that we all learned a very valuable lesson, that we will no longer take shifts alone. It seems that you were taken in the night without our knowing, but in the morning we were quick to discover this. We followed some tracks and we found you amongst some not too friendly individuals. Well, we quickly took care of the problem, and we are back.
Oh yeah, I fucking burned them.
I was mostly unconscious.
Checks. Not to be rude, but checks.
The most important thing is that everybody is together and safe and alive. But again, we, from this moment forward, should be taking watches together.
Absolutely.
Why
Is
me?
the lizard
Why not you guys? Jesus.
You said, is the lizard folk still there?
Yeah.
Yeah, Potley is still there. They are still just kind of anxiously waiting, and they say,
"Oh, I am so glad that your friend is finally awake. I hope that you do not feel as angry towards me as you did last night. I understand if you do. Not very many people like Potley."
Well, my wizard friend, we did give you our word that we would purchase something from you before we were on our way. So show us your goods so we can be on.
Yes, yes. Very good, very good. So, Patley is a purveyor of many different things, from oddities to knickknacks, grimcracks, and trinkets, but also an animal every once in a while when the fancy does strike, Patley. So, would you like to see my animals, or would you like to see my oddities and trinkets?
Knickknacks. I want some knickknacks.
Very good. So, we have 4 different knickknacks that I feel alright with parting with. One, I have this.
And she pulls out of or they pull out of a little cloak, a little compass. And there's no cardinal direction mark, no north, east, southwest. It's just a dial with a pointer, and they say,
So, this compass right here has a magical property to it. There was a sailor who I encountered once who gave this to me as a favor that I did for him. But this compass, when you are close, it will point you in the direction of the nearest tavern or the nearest source of alcohol.
Hello?
Oh, do I have an interested party in this magical compass?
Yes, please. Out of curiosity, where does it point right now?
Oh, well, it points inside my tent because I currently have a fairly large amount of alcohol in there. But
I'll take that and the compass. Done. Name your price.
oh well, for the compass and the very rare supply of liquors that I have located in there, what do you say to 60 gold? The compass is magical, after all.
Sounds,
What-
sounds a
What's
bit
the
pricey.
booze?
sorry, what was that, Cyrus?
What's the booze you have?
Well, the booze that
Not that I'm fussy. I'm just a connoisseur, you see.
Oh, of course, I understand. The liqueurs that I have are actually from my homeland of the jungles of Thrall and Pylos. It is a rare liquor actually distilled from tree sap. I know that you might feel a little anxious about that, but what do you say to a sample, huh? And then make your decision?
Oh, done. Yes, absolutely.
Very good, very good.
And Potley, you see her, or you see them run into the tent, and some clink, 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 clinking of glasses together, and she comes out with, it almost kind of looks like a Jello shot, in all honesty, where it's like this thick gelatinous material that's this dark amber color, and she they hold it up to you, Cyrus.
All right, here you are. Be careful, do not drink too fast. If you drink it all at once, there is a chance that it could clog up your throat and you could choke to death. So, just be careful.
Oh. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll just kind of, I'll slowly do it at first. Once I've kind of got like a bit of it, I am just gonna shot it.
Okay, yeah, so you get the feel of it, and it really is like Jello, where once it hits your mouth, it starts to melt a little bit, and then it starts to really, like, it's almost like a candy at that point, where it's so sweet, kind of like a syrup, almost as soon as it begins to melt. And there is some nutty pine flavor, but then there is this overwhelming hit of, like, caramel along with it.
That genuinely doesn't sound that bad. Christ, yes, absolutely. Yeah, you have a deal. Please.
Oh, very good, very good. Okay, I will go get you a bottle.
And she runs, or they run back inside and brings a bottle, maybe about the size of like a, we'll just say like 32 ounces of it. And she gives that to you, and it's corked, and
That was not the sample bottle, by the way. that has not been opened yet. So that is that for you, and the compass for you.
And she hands you the compass and gestures out a hand for the 60 gold.
Yeah, I'll hand it over.
Oh, thank you very much.
She tucks
Oh,
it
thank you.
Tuck it away. Okay. Alrighty. So, it is a very high alcohol content. So it does not take very much for even you to get a little woozy.
Little buzzed.
A little buzz. Yeah. Maybe 3 or 4 shots of this would get Cyrus buzzed.
Oh, I'm definitely sharing this with everyone else as well, because that's going to be hilarious.
Okay. Alrighty.
Oh no.
Well, you have purchased your one item, and if you'd like, you are free to go. But if not, Potley does have more supplies to offer.
Like what?
I am glad you asked.
I have this, and they pull out like a water skin. And it looks to be like a dark leather, and there is these little blue runes of what seems to be the same ones that you found on Baramichi's sword, that are like Alex peoples, the native Eferians.
This is a decanter of seemingly endless water.
That could be useful.
Most people seem to think so.
And how much for this seemingly never-ending water?
Seemingly endless as it is worth 15 gold pieces. And it is currently full.
What else do you have?
Well, I also have, here.
And she pulls out like a small, like, what looks to be like an embroidered patch that looks like a ladder.
This right here is a patch, a magical patch, that if you apply to your armor, you can rip it off, saying the command word, and this tiny little patch will turn into an actual 6-foot ladder. I know it sounds interesting, and it sounds like it's not real, but I can promise you it is, but if I were to do it, I wouldn't have the patch anymore.
Okay,
Yes.
wait, out of character.
Yes.
It's a... Wait, whoa. You could just make a ladder appear?
Yeah, it's just a patch that you have to put
With a
onto your
one-
clothes.
Okay.
And then when you rip it off and say the command word, Potley says that it will turn into an actual 6-foot ladder.
Oh, I don't like how you say that. He says it will?
Yeah, they say it'll turn into an actual 6-foot ladder.
Is it just a one use? Or can you reuse it?
No, sadly.
Yeah.
Afterwards, it is just a ladder.
And what was your last item you had for sale?
The last one is a very, very special item. Sometimes Potley likes to leave the road and go exploring in the forest. It is a little scary, but Potley has brave guards, so Potley is fine. But Potley sometimes finds rare things that most merchants do not dare to look for, like this.
And they run into their tent, and you can hear the creaking of wood, like a little, and they come back out with a small roll of paper, very old parchment.
This is a treasure map. I know not where it leads to or what treasures wait at the red X, but a treasure map nonetheless. In terms of how much this rare item is, I think that it is not unfair of Potley to request a meager 250 gold.
Oh.
Imagine
only
what would
250
await
gold.
you inside wherever this red X leads to.
Is
So
this
basically, you're trying to say was
a
a red
wood?
X on a piece of paper.
Well, there are
Could we
clues
look at
also
the
on
map
the paper.
before?
Right.
Could we see the map before we purchase it?
Well, if you were to see the map, say one of you had a very good memory, you could look at the map, remember it, and then, well, you would not need to purchase map anymore.
Sounds like a scam to me.
I mean, this compass is pretty fucking sweet. I'm not gonna lie. I'm having a whale of a time, guys.
Yeah, so Cyrus, as you are walking around with it, it does keep pointing into Potley's tent. And no matter where you go, it is always pointing there.
Oh my gosh. Out of character, like that could very easily just be a normal compass, and they could have like some kind of magnet in the tent. You know? Like just very easily, that could
Like
they
a
could easily do
cartoon, like Looney Tunes sized acne magnet.
that. Exactly. Exactly.
Who knows? Yeah.
Just
Out
saying.
of character question, Joe. Would Alec, because of the way that she is and how she's grown up, would you be able to know like which water sources out here in the wild would be drinkable?
Oh, for sure, yeah. You would be able to know which ones need to either be distilled or boiled first.
Yeah.
Al
I'm
can
just
make
trying
a
to.
clay distillery.
Right. I'm just trying to decide
saying.
whether it's worth buying one of those pouches.
Maybe even out of mud. I don't
Feed
even know.
myself an owl. There's no need to put the
Yeah, no. I mean, it could also store other
and
liquids.
the lab. I'm not sure.
It doesn't need to be just water. You just have to fill it first.
So if Cyrus fills it with booze, is it never-ending booze?
It is seemingly never ending booze.
Excuse me?
Well, perhaps this isn't the wisest purchase. What say the rest of you?
Do I have interest in this seemingly endless, seemingly interest decanter of? I suppose it could be any liquor of your choice, or sorry, slip of the tongue there. Any liquid of your choice.
Oh, Potley. Oh my.
I'm not sure quite how these things work, but something tells me that he's got you where he wants you.
We shouldn't
Maybe.
let him get this.
Maybe we should move on.
Well, they said something about animals?
Yes, I sadly have sold most of my more exotic animals, but these two are native Eferian animals, so they might be a little odd for you as they are for me. Let me go grab the first one. So,
You see them run back into the tent one more time, and you hear this like whimpering noise. It's like,
no, it's okay. Maybe someone will buy you today. We don't know. But I have to show them this one first. But then I will come back for you. Okay? Okay.
And you see Potley come back out with Alec. You would recognize this. This is a weasel fox, where it has a really, really long body, floppy ears, stubby legs, and it's this bright orange color. Where it's just a combination of a weasel and a fox. And you can see it like wrapped around Potley's shoulders and kind of like snuggling up to her. And it's, maybe 6 months old. It is a really, really young animal. And Potley has it around their shoulders, and they say,
this is a baby weasel fox. It is fairly good at sniffing out and tracking, not tracking, but finding berries and knowing which ones are poisonous and which ones are not poisonous. In terms of practical use, other than that, look at the little baby fox face. Oh, the weasel baby fox. Oh.
and you can see Potley's like little, like lizard claw thing, like scratching underneath the chin, and the baby fox, weasel fox, is just kind of rubbing into it.
So, are there any takers on the baby weasel fox?
Can Al
Daylight.
remember anything about weasel foxes?
You actually, well, go ahead and make a history check. See if you can...
Okey-doke.
Can Morgonix get in on that?
Yeah, sure. Either you two
Team
can each
book
make.
learning?
Yeah, you guys can either brainstorm or
learning.
make your own separate checks.
Brainstorm.
All right.
All right, so I'll go ahead and make one with advantage.
Great. Okay. Hold on.
Okay. So what exactly did you want to try to ascertain from that check? Just anything you can think of about him, or
The usefulness of the weasel foxes.
okay. So you do remember, and especially after Potley says so, you do remember a little bit of reading you did about them, where a lot of native Eferians or travelers heading here, or even explorers back in the day, they would find weasel foxes and keep them around in order to sniff out which fruit and berries were poisonous and deadly and which ones were actually good to eat. The weasel fox will kind of hiss at berries that are, or fruits that are poisonous, and then will purr when they sniff fruit that are not poisonous.
Okay.
Sayla is tempted just because
So is
she likes animals. She doesn't like people, but she likes animals.
So, if you are interested in the baby weasel fox, it is a meager 25 gold pieces. I will let you know it has not been trained yet, so you will have to bond with the animal in order for it to stay around and be friendly towards you, but the little buddy right here is already quite friendly.
Sold. Sayla just like, yep, mine.
Okay, very good, very good. All right, okay, are you ready to go? All right.
And Potley picks up the weasel fox from around her shoulder, and you can see as she goes to hand it to you, the middle part, the stomach and like rib area of it just kind of droops down like a U, as it's so long and just bendy. And they hand the weasel fox to you.
Now be careful and remember to try and train him every once in a while, and hopefully you two will become the best of friends. So, the 25 gold, please.
She just hands it over like, yep. And she's kind of cradling it because she's like, yeah, this is mine now.
Okay, and you see like the arms are so little and so stubby, and they just kind of like bat you back and forth as you bring the arm. That's kind of pat your hand, and kind of like there's one time where you leave it on there and you go to scratch, and as you go to take your arm off, the little like stubby paws grab the hand and like let it go and like grab it again, and it seems as though they're having a quite a fun time just playing with your hand right now. And
Y'all are seeing the most. Oops, sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
Y'all are seeing the most genuine smile you've ever seen from Sayla right now.
Aww.
Ever.
Potley goes,
Well, it looks like the two of you are already off to a great start. So, I have one more animal available, and this particular breed of Eferian animal is, well, can be quite dangerous, but is very, very helpful in many situations. I will be right back.
And she goes back in, or they go back into the tent, and you hear them sort of under their breath say,
Okay, all right, are you good to come out? Okay. Do you promise that you will not run away when I open the cage?
do you promise? And you hear this like bark, this like, woof, 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 woof.
Okay, I do not speak that, but I'm going to assume that you said yes. Okay, right.
And you hear like the clinking of metal, the ting, 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 as a metal cage opens, and you see as Potley exits, the creature that she has on a leash currently kind of looks like a dog, but they've got like what almost look like stone plates as opposed to fur.
And she says, "This right here is a dogolin. So it is a combination of a dog and a padogluin. I think I'm saying that right. They kind of look like armadillos, but they're longer and they're bigger.
Oh my gosh, I know what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah, like, isn't it a pangolin or something like that? Don't know.
But so
Think
it's like
so.
it's the size of maybe like a smaller golden retriever, but it is just covered in these like seemingly stone, really really hard plates all over its body. And you can see that it does have like a soft underbelly, but other than that, it is covered completely in these like dark brown scales with these really small, beady black eyes. But the most interesting part is it still has these large, furry ears that just kind of droop out of these two small breaks in between the stone. And there is this noise, this cracking of wood from maybe 15, 20 feet away, and the ears almost like they almost like retract back into the head as the head swings over towards it, covering up those soft, floopy ears. And then as soon as they realize that it's not a threat, the ears slowly coil back out and just kind of floop at the side.
Are they native to this area?
Yeah, they're native to Efera in general, but you mostly see them in the Shoasoman Riverlands, which is the rocky riverlands that Alec is not exactly familiar with. But they are native to Efera.
Okay. Do I know what they would be useful for? Like, are they like hunting animals? Are they tracking animals? Would I know this?
Yeah, I would say,
I can roll.
yeah, go ahead and make a, I wouldn't say history, make a survival check. Okay, very cool. So you would actually have a pretty good idea that they are used quite frequently as watchdogs for people that are going into dangerous situations. Their barks are very, very loud, which is really good at waking up the soldiers that they travel with. And then they also have very heightened sense of hearing.
Loud barks would also be great for signaling your enemies to let them know you're there.
Unless he tears his throat out first.
If they're
I don't know. Give me some time
with a bunch of range attack rolls that they can use.
It is, yeah. It's a situational animal, and you could always train the dog to not bark during that time. But you know, it's up to you how you train the animal.
Can Alec like kindly inspect the creature?
Yeah. Go ahead and make an animal handling check real quick. I'll say with advantage because you are a native. And it seems as though when you go to approach it, even before the check, it seems less nervous about you. Okay. So as you lower your hand, like the back of your hand down like you would with any of the other animals that exist in Congiato, just to let it know that you know it's okay and you're a friend. It does seem a little anxious about you, and one thing that you remember is that they really do love being outside. Same as you, they hate being confined to the cells and buildings that are not natural to Efera. So there is a moment where it is anxious, but then it sniffs the back of your hand, and then it like the scales like and you can hear this low like friendly growling, this like
as it just sort of rubs into your hand, and then it sort of sits back on its haunches, looking at you with its head cocked a little bit, and it it just kind of it is very odd because it does have these two beady little black eyes, and these large floopy ears, and when it sits and moves, especially when it's not trying to move fast, it just there's this like scratching and creaking sound of the different like scaly plates on its back.
Okay. Alec will kindly pet his head. And she will look to the lizard man and she will say, I would like to take him with us. What is your price?
Well, because this is a fairly rare creature from further away, it does have a steeper price. Currently, I would be willing to part with the Dogolin for 125 gold. It is already trained to make you aware when enemies are near, and also trained to attack those who seem hostile to its owner.
Alec is going to look at the creature for a second and kind of look back to where she knows he was being caged in at.
Mm-hmm. Oh no. Okay. Oh, God. Oh wait.
Because, oh God, she only had 120 gold on her.
I can totally loan you some.
Yeah, Morganix would chip in.
Yeah.
Since you guys saved Sayla, she will begrudgingly hand over some gold.
Alec will look at everybody and she will just smile. Thank you. I appreciate the help. And she'll just kind of take like one piece of gold from everybody. Just who's offering. She doesn't take too much.
Yeah, Morganix would offer up like 20.
Oh,
None for Mal.
Puts me
All
at
right,
an even 100.
Alec will, gathering up her coin from her friends, she will hand it over to the lizard man.
Oh,
It was
Potley,
Yes?
would you take a reduced price for this creature for perhaps some perfume or a wind chime?
What kind of wind chime and what kind of perfume?
I will go get the perfume and wind chime from the cart.
Okay, so the wind chime is a collection of small, thin metal rods and like seashells that cling together. And it seems when each seashell hits one of the metal rods, it creates a different pitched noise. And it's also very brightly colored of blues and greens and oranges. And the perfume, now that you like smell it a little bit, although it's in a very beautiful like blown glass vial, it is definitely more of a musk. It is definitely more rich and earthy as opposed to light and flowery. So you bring the two items over to Potley, and they look at them, and I'd like you to go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Oh god.
Okay.
Well, my dear, as beautiful as these items are, I do have to say, they are not exactly up my wheelhouse. I deal in magical curios and trinkets, and these seem,
And they kind of like push down on like the perfume, and it like spurts out.
oh, and I do not particularly enjoy that item.
I can't say that I blame you, but it was worth a try. I do have some alchemical powders.
Oh, you see, actually, Al was just asking me about tinkering components that he could have, and I understand that you're asking for the trade for the Dogolin, but if you would be willing to trade whatever alchemical supplies you have, I would be willing to trade that for the material components that I have.
Okay, I'll still give Alec 20 gold. And I have 2 different alchemical things. I have like the 50 gold worth of materials I found, and I have the alchemical powders that made fire change colors.
Mm.
So I'm gonna offer up like like 4 vials of the fire powders, and
Okay.
like keep 1 or 2 for an emergency. Like maybe it'll come in handy someday.
Okay, so the fire powders were color changing, so we'll just say that you have a dark blue and a light green color changing fire powder left, and you give the rest to her.
Cool.
And also the 50 gold worth of alchemical supplies.
No, I'm keeping those.
Keeping those. Okay. So, all right. Well, these fire-changing powders are actually quite interesting. I don't need to bore you with how they work. So, for that, we will say that is 20 gold worth of material components. So, Al and they run into their tent, throw together a small chest, and bring it out to you, Al. Here you are. Some material components you can use to tinker as to your heart's desire. There is a collection of metals and nuts and bolts for you to use in whatever way you see fit.
Great.
Yes.
Thanks.
Of course, of course. So, with that, are you sold on the Dogolin?
Oh, yes, I am. And she will hand over the gold. She was too busy like rubbing his belly.
Okay.
Playing with him.
Yeah,
on
and
the
at this point, like the scales are kind of like cracking, and you can hear when it rolls onto a twig, it just like shatters underneath the weight of the dog and the scales, the Dogolin, and as you're scratching this like soft, and the underbelly isn't furry. The underbelly is like naked mole rat skin.
I love it.
And as you're kind of like rubbing it and like mushing the skin around, it's just kind of like definitely enjoying the belly rubs, as it seems like it doesn't get belly rubs very often. So, as you have collected your items and your new animal pets, Patley, you can see this like glowing smile over their face. They say,
So, is that all you would like to purchase? I still do have this decanter of seemingly endless liquid and the treasure map. Oh, and the latter patch.
I'll be honest,
No.
I can't get that decanter out of my head.
Cyrus, you don't need it.
I disagree. I disagree.
You would, you alcoholic.
I'm not an alcoholic.
You are an alcoholic.
I'm truly not.
You are.
I can assure you I'm not.
Then quit.
You're a
Oh,
connoisseur.
that would
So
be,
would they.
that would, trust me, that would be bad for all of us.
Exactly, you're an alcoholic.
The collective
Truly,
hangover
I'm
might kill him.
Does Al hear Alec?
yeah, all of you are relatively close, so you can hear Alec whisper what she wrote.
Al gives a questioning rise of his right eyebrow, but nothing else.
Alec will just smile up at you. Well, Cyrus, I think that if you can control your urges, maybe this is a good idea for other uses. Once the liquid is seemingly gone, maybe we could use it for other things.
It could come in handy.
Yes, it could.
No. I vote if we get it, someone else holds it. Cyrus is not around. He's not allowed near it.
I can hold it. Al raises his hand.
That's fine with me.
Oh, please don't cockblock my blues, please.
What? What?
Alec will also give Silas a very confused look.
Potley, would you
I look
give us?
incredibly defeated.
Oh. Would you give us both the patch and the decanter for, say, 40 gold?
Roll a persuasion check. As Potley hums at you, thinking.
Yeah, that went so well last time.
Al is gonna help persuade.
Oh, I don't need it.
No, it's okay.
Oh.
That's something you gotta say before the roll happens. Alrighty.
Ah, okay.
So,
Sorry.
No, it's okay. That's okay. So you sort of like look at her and you kind of have this, you're trying to smile as best you can. And you're not used to this. You're used to being friendly when people come to check out books or what have you. But this time you feel her and she says, no, darling, smile a little bit more. I promise you it'll work. And you grit your teeth and you smile a little bit more. And you can see when that little bit more of a smile happens, Potley says,
You know what? How can I say no to a smile as beautiful as that? All right, the decanter and the patch for 40 gold pieces.
All right, if I do 30, does anybody want to put in the last 10?
I can.
Thank you. You know what? You all are some of the best customers I've ever had. Most people are relatively mean to Potley. You all have been quite nice, so thank you for that. You know what? I will give you premium membership. No gold purchase necessary, but next time you see me, I promise I will give you special discount on my most rare item. Who knows? Maybe I'll still have treasure map. Probably not, but maybe. So who is wearing the patch?
I suppose I am.
All right, darling, where would you like the patch?
Can I, like, put it on the interior of my coat so you don't really see it?
Of course. As I do. And
Privately wondering if I've made a terrible decision, but just smiling and thanking her anyway.
she smacks it on there and she says,
now remember, only use it when you actually need it, because when you tear it off, it becomes a 6-foot-tall ladder, and you can't exactly move very easy with a 6-foot-tall ladder. All right, well,
there you go. And she shuts your cloak and kind of buttons it up for you.
so, is there anything else you all need from Potley?
I'm guessing the animals can feed themselves.
The baby weasel fox, you should at least feed a little bit. They are slightly naive. They think that most things are their friend, and most things are not their friend. So just be careful.
What do you recommend that I feed? Is it a boy or a girl?
It is a boy.
First off. It is a boy? Okay. What should I feed him?
Well, you should probably feed him a collection of berries, nuts, and small grub, worms, slugs, that type of thing.
Got it.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Of course. All right.
I think we have all we need. Potley, you have been a good friend to us. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate the kind words. Oh. All right. Well, I hope that sometime along the stretch of time that we all will encounter each other again. But I guess for now, I will bid you farewell.
Bye-bye.
All right. Well, yes, please have your card, and I hope to see you again.
and you can see them go into the tent and sort of pour the gold, and you can just hear that ting 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 ting. 1, 2, and you can hear Potley begin to count the gold out in their tent after selling almost all of their items except for a singular treasure map. All right. So all of you gather your items, your new pets, which after the break I'll go ahead and add those into your inventory. Well, I'll give you a card that you guys can each find.
Inventory. I'm like, they're not things.
Yeah, I'll have to make a new
Living
folder called
beings.
pets.
God,
And
We regret nothing.
it's gonna get,
Yep,
it's gonna
no.
get out of hand.
I'm excited. So
Pretty soon we're gonna have an army of pets. I can see
Right.
it now.
that's how you
God.
win. Yeah. Okay.
Gotta catch them all, motherfucker.
Yeah, I forgot to tell you guys we're playing the Pokemon role-playing game.
Nice.
Just in my own homebrew world. Okay, so all of you collect your new animals, your new items, and you mount your cart and you begin to head down the road. So, I'd
Question.
like... Yeah.
Morganix is still sitting at 6 hit points. Can she take a short rest in the back of the cart?
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure.
Cool.
Yeah. So,
Same.
with how the cart works, 2 people can sit on the front, sort of steering. 1 person can sit in the cart, and the other 2 people need to walk alongside it. So let me get a fun little graphic here, just so I'm not going to change the main art. I'm just going to look up cart.
Yeah, then I nominate Morganix and Alec for in the cart the first round.
Yeah.
I take it you guys are pretty beat up.
Yeah.
It was a little bit of a battle.
I hurt in places I didn't know I had.
That's fun. All right. So, wait a second. What? There we go. Wait, what? Why do I only have...
Man, our cart is goth as fuck.
Yeah. Okay, so we have got Al.
Wait, hold on. Wait, what's going on?
We're driving into the sky. Just like
I'll walk. Great, I'll walk.
Okay, so we've got organics, just so I know. And then why can I not scroll down anymore on this thing? So A to Z.
Is anyone else hurt? Is it just me and Alec that are really fucked up?
I'm bloodied,
Oh,
so
sorry.
no. It's, and I'm
Yeah,
also,
I'm-
8 years older, so.
I am blooded as well. I
Yeah.
got, but
we'll have to.
I'll live.
So
We're
we'll
taking
do,
turns.
we'll do an hour and switch.
Okay. So, Sayla, are you in the cart? Or are you walking alongside it?
Sailor should be walking.
I think I'm gonna walk. She's probably in better shape than everybody else.
Yes.
Yeah.
You are at full hit points. You just still feel a little groggy.
All right.
So that means, Cyrus, if you wanted to, you could hop in the back of the cart and ride along.
Yes.
There you go. All right, so you guys can go ahead and roll your hit die real quick. Oh, nice. Look at that. Solid hit
Oh.
die roll.
I'm
Needed
sorry.
that.
Should I be at full hit die now, since it's been a while, or no?
Yes, you should. Uh-huh.
Okay.
I'm gonna do it
I
now.
don't need to use them, so it's just
Oh
I have them.
no.
Oh, I shouldn't have complained. Oh my.
Oh shoot! What is it with Cyrus and getting a low rolls when it counts?
Oh.
Oh, he's had some really
I was gonna
great
say,
rolls
I
when
don't-
it
I don't
counts
think that-
lately.
Yeah.
It's like every other
One
roll.
extreme,
Yeah, it's like
It's, you are never in the
honestly.
middle.
I
honestly.
think he's
which is like perfect
Yeah.
for chaos.
Yeah. It really
God.
is.
Al is just flipping through his notebook.
Alright, so go ahead and ignore.
As Morganix is just lying there and trying to feel like, okay, I'm gonna live, damn it. She's like tilting her head and realizing, Cyrus, you look very distinguished all of a sudden.
Yeah, all of you, now that you've had a moment, you can see that Cyrus is just a little more, like, gray near the sideburns. The little like scruff around his cheeks and lips and chin is a little salt and pepper, and his hair is a little bit longer.
Wait, did he literally age?
He literally aged.
Literally aged 8 years. Yeah.
How did that happen?
The world
Chaos.
I mean, what? Like, did you say that to me in character, by the way? That I looked.
Yeah, I
distinguished?
absolutely
Okay.
did.
I mean, what can I say? I'm a silver fox, guys. But I'm not gonna lie, my back is fucking killing me.
I think Morgonix is just gonna slap Happy laugh and kind of doze a little.
Alec is just staring at you like you're some type of strange bug she's never seen before.
Which one of us?
At Cyrus. Trying to understand.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I don't really remember. I remember fire, and now my back hurts. So I truly can't tell you anything else, because I don't know, and I take a shot.
Is that slimy gelatin
Absolutely.
hits your tongue and then slowly melts for that nutty caramel flavor?
That sounds so good.
That's like
I'll like
milky
shudder
way.
and go, oh god, that's good.
Well,
Yeah,
least you're
At
one
this point, Morgonix is just gonna silently hold her hand out, like, yeah, okay, fuck it.
Oh yeah, I'll offer that to anyone that wants to try it.
Morgonix will.
Ooh! Al's trying it.
Al's gonna choke to death.
Okay.
All right. All right. So Cyrus, you're sharing with everybody. So do you give them the same warning that Potley did?
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
drinking too fast. Okay. All right.
Oh, come on. Don't warn people about things. let them figure out for themselves.
All right. So Cyrus, you inform everybody, just in case.
Al
And-
completely misses everything.
Okay.
It goes right over his head.
Okay.
If this is how your character died, that would
He's
be the
paying
funniest
attention to
thing I've
nothing
ever
except
witnessed.
receptacle. He's paying
All right,
attention to nothing
so-
except that.
All
He's
of
been
you
writing it.
listen to Cyrus except Al. You slowly take a drink. You let it hit your tongue first and melt, and as it passes through your throat, you get that caramely, nutty flavor. Really, just kind of tasty and sweet. Al, I'd like you to make a Constitution saving throw as you down it, and
Great.
it hits your throat, and it just
Great.
kind of gelatinizes.
Great.
Gelatinizes, what a word.
Harden, it begins to harden. Okay, so you
22.
start to cough, and you're
Taking that like a
as the
boss.
rest of you are looking at him like, what happened? Why was that different for you? And Al, you cough hard enough that it ends up like detaching from your throat where it had started to harden, hits your tongue and begins to mix with the saliva and melt, and then slowly slides down your throat. And you realize, oh, that's why Cyrus said that thing, because I could have choked. Gotcha. It does taste very good. You get that caramel, sweet nuttiness to it, and it's quite good. Your throat does sting a little bit because it started to harden onto your throat, so it is a little scratchy there. But other than that, it's pretty good.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Alec
You
is
need
just
Al
some
hands the
water.
thing. I can't remember if I have a canteen.
So there is the decanter of seemingly endless water.
I don't trust that.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to check all this stuff over tomorrow with the glasses.
Alec will look at Al and she will say, you know, my people, they drink much younger than what you are, and I've seen them hold their liquor quite better than you.
Are we just trying to kill him now?
Al just coughs. All right. Whatever you say.
You'll be alright.
The funny thing is, my constitution is actually pretty good.
Alcoholic in training.
I just don't think I'll get it. Aw.
Okay, so you all continuing on the cart ride. You spend a little bit of time recovering. You take part in the liquor that Cyrus presents to all of you, and it is quite good. There's not really an alcohol taste to it. It really just is that overwhelming sweetness and like caramel nuttiness. So all of you continue to ride for the next hour or two, and at this point it's maybe 2-3 o'clock as you had a little bit of a rough start to your morning. Interesting. So yeah, as you do that, Alec, you can see the Dogalin is definitely quite happy to keep up pace with you. However, I would like you to make an animal handling check. With advantage,
to make sure it doesn't run away.
Since you are dangling that piece of meat in front of him. Oh, okay.
I might have rolled it. Oops, sorry.
That's okay. We'll take the first one. Just because it was the first one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you dangle the piece of meat, and there's a moment as its like ears are flopping next to its head, and it's slowly trotting up behind you. You can hear something off in the forest, and the ears contract, and you see it almost dart off into the woods. But you give this really sharp whistle, and it turns back to you, and looks back out into the forest. And there's a moment as the ears slowly unfurl from its head, and slowly turns back to you and the meat, and begins to walk towards you again. You give it the meat as a treat, and you pull out another little piece of ration just in case that ever happens again. But you feel like you are off to a good start with the training of your Dogalin.
Lovely. As that happens, she will like whisper down, "Yes, you will do well. We will kill many together." And then just pat his little head.
Okay.
You know that the monkey meme with the eyes? That is what Al is doing.
Alice will again just go smiling away.
Okay. So the Dogalin looks up at you happily, the sort of tongue hanging out of its mouth, the little beady black eyes looking at you, and sort of bobbing its head up and down as you're talking about how you'll kill enemies together. It just seems excited for more meat in one way or another. So you continue your walk down. So another 2 hours pass, and it's maybe 4 or 5 o'clock at this point, and
We would have switched. Or at least Morgonix would have offered to switch with someone for a short rest.
so yeah. Al, did you want to hop on there?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Sail would take it.
All right.
Doggy. If he's not gonna take it, fuck it.
All right, so
Might as well.
You hop on the horse, or you hop on the cart. Alrighty, Cyrus, you're still hanging out in the back?
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
He is officially the oldest member in our party. He deserves it.
I am the resident boomer now, so.
Oh no.
Oh, Lord. Okay, so...
Your character isn't that old.
He's my age. It's old.
Alrighty, so you continue on throughout the road, and as it gets to about 4 or 5 o'clock, you can see a small tower off in the distance, like a wooden outpost, and there's a small building next to it, and you can see a little smoke fire rising from it. There is a banner on the tower that is the symbol of Arathis, that half of a cog with a backdrop of a very deep blue, a navy color. And you can see that there's currently 2 carts in front of there. It seems to be just different merchants who were traveling. And along this time, for the most part, you guys have been passed a couple times, or past other people who've stopped on the side of the road, where it does seem like the road is used fairly often. So you can see a couple of carts ahead, and you can see these different soldiers in either like full plate, half plate, or just a breastplate armor with with like blue enameled steel armor with that cog brandished into the breastplate. You can see them off in the distance talking to some of the people in the cart, looking through the supplies they have, and then letting them pass. So is there anything you guys want to do, or just want to keep going?
Are we gonna pass this tower, or is it like off of the road?
No, it is. The tower is right next to the road, and it seems like the guards are standing as sort of like a check.
Oh, okay. Well, Alec will just keep confidently moving forward. I mean, if it's only 4 or 5, we want to make the most of the daylight. I would.
Yeah.
And as Morgronix asked if we named our pets, Alec will say, he is not a pet, he is a companion, and the spirits will name him when they feel it is right. And she'll just keep walking along with her little doggo.
Oh. Okay.
Grand Old Duke of York. Yeah, I didn't know.
So, Sayla, as you are sitting in the cart, sort of steering, you have the fox weasel on your shoulder, and it's a long-haired animal. So the hairs are kind of bristling up against your cheek every once in a while, and it seems to have really taken to you right off the bat, where it kind of like is like making circles around your shoulders, where like the long body, like the back legs will be on your left shoulder as it sort of like climbs around the front of your chest to place its front legs on your right shoulder, and it just kind of keeps making circles around your body, and every once in a while it kind of like bites your cheek a little bit, just like a little love bite, and continues to walk around. And there are a few times where it like is hanging off of your shoulder, and its long body is just like waving in the wind. This bright orange, long-haired fox weasel. But it seems like it's just kind of like it seems very acrobatic, just climbing around your body, swinging off, jumping around the cart. But yeah, so as you're sort of messing around with your weasel fox, you are maybe 45, 50 feet away from this tower. So did you guys just want to keep heading forward, or?
I think so. I don't think this was one of the places we were told to stop. Wait, what?
Al wants to explore the tower.
Okay.
Yeah, but we never do what Al wants.
Does it look like anything hostile is happening around the tower, or the guards are just kind of chilling?
There are maybe, from what you can see, there are maybe 10 or 12 guards, and there are 2 in the road. And every time, you've seen it happen 2 other times as you were driving up, or riding up, the cart will stop, as the 2 guards will stop them. They'll look around through the supplies they have. They chat for a little bit, and then they move on.
Shit, we do have stolen stuff. Seeing them kind of searching a bit, Al kind of falls back from the cart and kind of walks a little farther away.
Okay.
Still like within like sight, but like,
Just
good
hanging
ways.
back. Yeah.
Hanging
maybe,
back a bit.
Maybe 15, 25 feet in that range.
30.
Alec is just kind of walking, like, there's no reason why there shouldn't be freedom to roam about the woods.
The first time Morgonic sees that happen in a cart ahead, she's gonna get back to the cart and say to Sayla and Cyrus, it looks like they're going to be checking our cart. And she's just going to assume they know what that means.
Yes, probably. And I go back looking at my dagger.
We have 500 gold in stolen dresses.
Oh shit!
Start patting yourself, I think. I read this in a book once.
What you could do.
I mean,
I don't know.
reasonably, how many dresses do you think I could fit on at once?
At least 3.
That's good.
At least 3.
Yeah. Probably.
Alec
could
is gonna like look over her shoulder and notice that a conversation is happening, so she will slow down to kind of backtrack. Is there a problem happening?
I'm gonna start putting on the dress and say, no, not if I can help it.
I'm sorry.
Oh, well, they look lovely. If I didn't know that was your style, is that what they say? Is that what it is?
It is very stylish, yes.
It's my style for the next 10 minutes.
Is there a reason he's putting these on?
They're stolen, and they're gonna look through the cart, and I don't know if... I know they look expensive and fancy, but I don't know how noticeable it is.
They're gonna take your animals.
Well, they will not take my friend. We are friends now, and he belongs to no one. But these dresses were stolen, but we have recovered them. Therefore, they are ours now. They are no longer stolen. I'm sure if we explain,
I know no one. It's cool person. That nobody.
is that not how this works? Could we just explain the situation?
Sayla, what do you think?
If they were stolen and they were reported stolen, then even if we aren't the ones that stole them, we have them, therefore we are guilty.
So we hide them.
Yep. Why did you
Already
guys
got one dress
get
on.
stolen dresses? That's about the most useless thing ever.
Because I think they're really expensive.
Should I put on a dress? Alec is
Should I
like
take-
very confused.
Should I take it off?
As at this point, Cyrus, you've gotten on about 2 of them, and it's a little snug, and a lot of them are very like lacy in these very pastel colors. The first one is kind of like a very tight, like almost like mermaid fit dress, where it's very tight around your hips and waist. And the other one is a much bigger, like flowy ballroom dress that you're trying to get on, and they don't match at all. Not that that matters to you, but you just know that they don't match. And they're a little tight around your shoulders. It seems that they're meant for somebody of a smaller stature than you, but you're fine, I guess. And you don't know if you could even have the room to put on another one, let alone if it would fit or not.
Y'all got yourselves into this fix-it, because I was not around for this part. Have fun.
We saved you!
I'm not putting a dress on for you, though. Not even to hide it.
Alec had like 1 foot in the dress, like putting the foot in through the neck hole because I don't think she's ever put on a dress before, but she kind of stops midway. So, is this not the plan?
I'm just personally imagining Yakety Sax playing as this is all happening.
We could throw them into the wood.
You
How long is this
bastard.
conversation? How long is this conversation going? How close are they to the guys?
I'd say that you guys probably stopped when you started to put
Yeah.
on dresses. That's not exactly something you do approaching.
We're throwing conspicuous.
Oh no! Oh no! This is the perfect music.
All right. Yeah, just,
think it was
Morgonix
good.
is gonna
Just
roll
kind
up a few dresses as tightly as she can and try to find places on her person to hide them. Like in her bag or under her
Okay.
corset, anything.
yeah, I'd say that you could probably get 2, rolling them up really tightly into your bag. They're a little too big to put underneath any personal items on your clothing, but in your bag you could probably get 2.
Okay. And I'll put other stuff on top and my own clothing and
Try and
I
rearrange
don't know.
things to hide them a little bit.
Yeah.
I gotcha. Okay. So that's 2 dresses. There were 5 in that container.
Well, Alec has one partially on, and she's kind of like, again, put one leg through the head hole and kind of flipped it up so it's over one shoulder.
Alrighty. And Cyrus, you are wearing the other 2.
We have 11 of these.
11? Ah, yes.
Al is
Oh my
standing 30
god.
feet away. Looking like he's like looking around the corner of the cart.
I mean, I'm happy to lie on top of the dresses like hedonism bought in Futurama.
I love that mental image so much.
We could just say they were gifts. You give gifts here. This is a common thing that I believe all peoples do.
Oh gosh, it's not worth it. If they want them back, they can take them, I guess.
But I think I kind of enjoy this one now.
Well,
It's like
let me-
haphazardly on top of her.
Let me help with that, and I'm gonna try to help Alec put it on properly.
Okay, and yeah, these are very nice dresses. There's a reason why they're so expensive. They're very well crafted, very well made. And the one you put on Alec, these dresses are meant for women in high society who are wearing a corset and who are... Some of them seem to be meant for most of them are meant for many different shapes of women, or people who decide to wear dresses. You know, there are some noblemen who also prefer that. But Alec is shaped like a warrior. She's very broad, very muscular. So putting the dress on, it fits, but Alec, you feel so constrained and so, like, if you were to move even an inch in the wrong direction, you could rip this entire thing.
Out of character. Don't damage the goods.
Too late.
Damage the good.
Alec is walking like she has a stick up her ass. She's so uncomfortable. She's almost like waddling at this point.
Do you want to take it off?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
I
yeah,
don't
let's take it off.
understand. Okay. She will take it off, trying to be delicate, but it's probably gonna rip a little bit in the process.
Okay, I'd like you to make a dexterity check for me, just to see, because you're not used to this delicate of clothing. You're used to hard linens and leather.
Does she get any advantage for me trying to help?
Yeah. We'll say that dexterity check with advantage because Morganix, although you wouldn't do it often,
yeah.
you do know how to wear a dress. So, Alec, there is one moment where you're just so frustrated, you just want to Hulk out of it and just rip it all through the back. But Morganix sort of stops you from doing that and helps you get it all the way off. She undoes the zipper the rest of the way. That was the issue. Why are zippers a thing? They don't make any sense. It should all be rope and knots. I don't get it. And she just calms you down and takes the dress off the rest of the way. And you're back in your normal, flowing, loose leathers and linens.
Alright, remind me never to do that again. Cyrus, though, I think it is very becoming of you.
I mean, my shoulders are quite tight, but I think it matches my skin pretty well.
Brings out your eyes.
Yeah, it's the one that you're wearing on top right now is a very like creamy green color. It's very Easter color, like a very pastel green. Actually kind of like the color that's on the screen right now behind the art. It's a little bit lighter than that, but I mean, yeah, it goes together in a very Hulk smash type of way, and it's it's nice.
Sayla has just been enjoying their absolute just insanity that's going on right in front of her face.
Well, we probably are drawing more suspicion to ourselves by just standing here. Let's just carry forward and
Yeah,
the
what are the
woods are
guards?
open. Yeah, the woods are open to everyone. This is out here is freedom, so who are they to stop us from passing?
I agree with you, but maybe let me do the talking?
Right.
Cool.
Good one.
Okay. So just to be clear, Morganix, you have 2 of the dresses in your bag, and then Cyrus, you're wearing 2 and laying on top of
Yes.
the other. What is that? 7. So like on top of the
Yeah.
box.
Yeah, exactly that.
Okay. All right. I just want to be sure. So you pull back onto the road, and as you get maybe 10, 15 feet away, the cart that was there departs. And there is this gnomish woman with deep brown hair and a pockmarked face. And you can see that she's wearing like half plate armor with a short sword at her one side and like a dagger on the other, with that blue enameled steel and the symbol of Arathis. And
Who
she
knows,
says,
maybe she's into tieflings in dresses.
she raises up a hand and says, please stop. I'm Law Knight Kartra. Do you mind if I take a look through your cart? We had a report a couple days ago of some very high-profile stolen dresses from a designer from New Efera. Arturo Bocchi, is that what his name was? Yes, Arturo Bocchi. We'll just look through your cart real quick, and then you'll be on your way.
Certainly.
All right, thank you very much. Some people, they tend to take me the wrong way, and of course I would never want to place blame on anyone without knowing the facts first. That's our entire philosophy, is facts first, and the law will carry out itself. Thank you. And she moves past you, and as soon as
she moves past me, I want to try to quickly minor illusion to everything Cyrus is laying on top of look more like blankets and pillows and shit like that.
Okay.
I mean, she's short. I'm hoping that she won't see into the cart until she's like right up there.
Yeah, I will say that there are 2 guards who are on the path. There was the one who's standing off to the side, and then there was her who walked up to the cart.
Then I got nothing. We're all going to jail, guys.
Okay, so she walks up to the cart, and she makes eye contact with you, Cyrus, and there is this terribly confused look on her face. Well, you, good evening, sir. I don't know if you heard, but I am Law Knight Kartra. I am here to look at the different things in your cart, and I was wondering if you would be able to step out. I don't want you to ruin your dress at all, but I was wondering if you could step out to so I could.
She prefers female pronouns.
I am so terribly sorry.
And she was recently injured by bandits.
My dear, I'm very sorry about that. Real quick, go ahead. Actually, you know what? No. I'm so sorry about that. Well, yeah, you can stay right there, and I'll just try and look around and see if I see anything. And I promise I won't have you get up from the cart. Once again, I'm so sorry.
Thank you, darling.
About that. Yeah, no. Thank you. Okay. So she is gonna take a perusal through the cart with disadvantage, because this is laying on top. That was cocked. Okay. Excuse me, madam, what's your name?
Oh, it's Cyrus, dear.
Cyrus, yes. Cyrus, you said you were attacked by bandits. As she's like peeking over the cart, sort of standing up on one of the wheels, just looking over, pulling blankets and tents, just kind of looking around. You said you were attacked by bandits?
Oh, it's true. It was a terribly disturbing event. They called themselves the Screaming Weasels.
Oh no, not
Um,
them. I'm.
it was appalling. I'm lucky to only have sprained my ankle.
Oh, that's very good. You know, they're actually the ones who stole the dresses that we're looking for. So, um, but it looks like.
Well, I can point you in their direction. I mean, they're very distinct.
Oh, you could. That would. And she gets down off of the cart and she says, you could if you could tell us, I could send 5 or 6 of the law knights that I have here, and they could all um, head out and look for this encampment.
Absolutely. You know, I just so you know, I appreciate everything you do. I'll go anything you need, please. You know,
There's
who
no
can
need for you to
stand the
stress.
crime?
No. There's no need for you to stress at all. This is our job. It's our duty to try and protect law-abiding, respectful citizens such as yourself. It's what.
No. Thank you.
You're too kind, Cyrus. Please. Anyway, where was this camp? I would be most happy to send guards out immediately to try and retrieve these dresses and any of the other stolen supplies they took.
Oh well, you see, it's about how many hours are we down the road
Um.
from when we left Potley?
Oh, from when you left Potley, I think 5 or 6.
Oh well, it's just outside of in Vidalca. It's about 7 hours down the road. We actually were very lucky to run into a merchant there who thankfully were they sent them on their way. They helped me again. Thankfully, I have my companions here to help me in the back of this cart. I wouldn't have made it. They did warn us. They said they didn't normally stray so far to New Vidalca. I'm not sure what they were looking for, but again, terribly disturbing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. Okay, thank you very much for that. We'll look for the Potley, yes, the lizard folk merchant.
Yes. That's
they
who
they
are.
came through here just yesterday, I believe. They tried to sell this a bunch of different things to me and some of the other law knights here.
How peculiar.
Yes, very peculiar indeed. We didn't buy anything because we figured most of it was trash anyway. Most merchants who come through here are just peddling trash.
Cough, cough, told you.
But that's good. Although they were odd, they did seem honest. So we'll find them and hopefully be able to find the screaming weasel shortly after that. All right. Well, thank you so much for this tip. Me and the Law Knights and Arathis herself thanks you for your service and being so brave to have survived those bandits. You and your companions here. It seems to me that you're in good hands.
Thank you.
Yes.
Really appreciate it.
All right, they're clear. They're clear. Let them through. And you can see the other Law Knights there just sort of move out of the way and begin to move past. And you can see one of the interesting things is all of the people who are wearing that plate armor or weapons or anything to decorate stature, all of them are women of different races, gnomes, Goliaths, humans, elves. The 10 of them that are here, all wearing that blue enameled steel. There are no men here, but they wave you through, and the Law Knight Cartra, she gives you a wave, Cyrus, as you leave, and please stay safe on the rest of the journey. We only have outposts a day out and a day from New Efera, so just please stay safe, okay?
I will do my best. You and you as well, please.
Thank you. We'll try, and we'll make sure to take care of those stinking weasels, the screaming weasels.
Stinking weasels.
Might as well call them stinking weasels.
Yes.
All right,
But
well,
not the Screeching Weasels. That was a punk band.
that's interesting. All right, well, safe travels, as she shouts out to you as you get 10, 15, 20 feet away. You can hear her go back to the other law knights and say, all right, well, thanks to that wonderful lady Cyrus back there, we have a tip on where the screaming weasels are, and where we might be able to relocate those stolen dresses. And there's met with very happy words, and at about that point you're out of earshot, as you're now 40, 50 feet away.
Is it Al's
from
turn?
the cart.
Or did Al go with them?
No, I assumed because you showed up together. Most people don't travel the road by themselves. It seems as though they didn't. They didn't.
That would be a fun interaction.
Well, they waved you on through with the rest of the group, and you continue.
Al just shrugged and went along.
Okay. Alrighty.
Oh, Al had a question.
Okay, so as you're passing, you go up to the Law Knight Kartra.
Is there a bounty on the weasels?
The screaming weasels, yes. Well, for any number that are killed and ridden from polluting and corrupting these jungles any more than they already do, and making the road safer. For each one killed, there is a bounty of 5 gold each. There are 2 people in particular who we've been searching for in particular. The head of the Screaming Weasels, his name is Advin. He doesn't stay in Efera most times, as he's usually off somewhere else, or in the slumbering jungle. And we are looking for him. He actually has a 500 gold bounty on his head, and there is another individual. He's a halfling man who seems to be maybe a second in command of some sort. His name is Sinver.
Interesting.
There is 100 gold bounty on his head. He's very wily, and we've caught him once or twice, but he always manages to escape or get broken free from the carts that we sent him in.
And he's wanted alive?
Yes, wanted alive. So is Advan. He's dead or alive, but
I see.
the Sinver has annoyed enough people that they want to be able to exact a justice and see it happen. Advan has done some fairly grotesque things and works with some terrible people, so most people just want to know that he's dead.
Finger guns. Right.
Yes,
and Al
indeed.
walks along. Have a good one.
Safe
Anyways.
travels. All right, and so as you're leaving, you can hear that them small spot off to the road after close to the 8-9 o'clock mark that you could pull off to camp for the night if you'd like?
Does Cyrus ever take the dresses off?
See, I was going to, and then I was like, I'm not minding this.
Yes.
Although I'm sure after a bit, my shoulders are gonna get a bit tight.
Yeah.
You're really
mean,
meant
I'm
to wear a
si- I'm
corset
6'1".
under those.
Oh yeah. Well, I didn't see what Al's reaction was to the dresses. I don't know. I honestly don't know what Al would do. Seeing Cyrus on the dresses, I would just kind of blink and then ignore it.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna take the dress off, kind of like a drunk girl taking the heels and bra off after a long night out. Being like, oh god.
As you reach around, rub your shoulders, you know.
Oh.
Alrighty. So you all do pull off to the side to rest for the night, or did you want to keep going through the night?
I say rest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Resting time.
Stressful moment that just went by.
Very cool. So you all set up camp for the night, getting the tents out, setting those up, spending some time with your baby weasel fox and your
Yes.
young adult Doggelin, and setting everything up. You prepare for your rest for the night. So, as you guys are getting everything set up, you sit down to eat your rations for the night, just getting that daily caloric intake that you need to.
Yeah.
If there's anything you guys wanted to talk about. If not, we can get into watches.
Ooh.